to him earlier about, you know, how should I introduce you? He said, make it funny. So I'm reading his bio, and it's actually, you know, a lot of achievements, a lot of stuff. You know, his works, you know, got selected as one of the top inventions in Wired magazine. Right? And then I was reading further, and then it says he's the professor of pervasive computing. Now, I didn't know what pervasive computing meant, to be honest, and I had my own ideas of what pervasive computing meant. And I thought it was me when I was 17 years old, 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to connect to a 56K modem and trying to download a picture. But apparently I was wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, here to explain to you what it means, please welcome Professor Adrian David Cheok.
Selamat datang semua. So my talk today will be how we can extend all of our 5 senses throughout the world using internet and mixed reality. I think we should all be like this famous samurai in the days gone by. He was blind, but he could win the fight because he could perceive the world with all of his senses, and we should be like that too, through the internet. If you think about it today, the way we use computers and smartphones and iPads, everything is either looking at a glass or touching a glass. Everything's behind a glass. It's as if in the real world we could look outside the window of our room, but we can't open the window, we can't touch, and we can't smell, and we can't taste through that window. And related science has shown that our 5 senses are very important. In fact, more than half of our human communication is non-verbal. And that's why it's still very different when you meet someone in the physical world than meeting them online, because so much communication is of the 5 senses. So I believe in the future we will move from the age of information that we're in today, where we have access to almost limitless data. And in the future we'll have the age of experience communication, where through the internet you can really experience what is it like to be somewhere, what is it like to climb the Himalaya or be in Sarawak jungles. So let me start to talk about the research we've been doing in our lab the last few years with my students on the multi-sense communication. I'll start off with touch, and touch is one of the most important senses. In fact, we think it's a basic need for being human is to touch. It's not just a desire, it's a basic need. And a few years ago I decided to make touch communication with computers. And the first project that I did was to be able to hug your pet through the internet. I thought a pet would be a good way to start, because when you're away from the home you can't telephone to your pet, because we still can't talk to animals. So with this system here, you could be at work or at school and you could be missing your pet, and you squeeze the robot doll, and then through the internet your pet, in this case a pet chicken, will feel the hugging on her body. And of course, the next step was to make a human-to-human communication system. So with this system here called Hugging Pajama, it's a way for parents and children who are away. For example, I'm here in Kuala Lumpur, my daughter's at home, and if we want to hug each other, we can't because we're not physically together. But with this system here, you can both wear a hugging pajama, you can give your kid a call, and you can also hug them at the same time. So I'll show you a quick video of this system now.
The future is coming fast, and your world will never be the same. There are few things in life more comforting or intimate than a nice, big hug.
What is this new technology? It's awesome.
At the Mixed Reality Lab in Tokyo, Japan, Dr. Adrian Cheok and his team are making it possible to reach out and hug someone, even if that someone isn't there.
Adrian, at this mixed reality lab, you have a lot of strange things going on. I can't figure this one out. It looks like a cross between a torturous life vest, rain jacket. What is going on, and who is this?
Well, this is Nancy, my student,
Hey,
and mixed reality is not just about visuals, it's also about mixing all of our senses with the virtual world, including touch.
Touch. So this is a touch vest.
That's right. Through the internet now, you can email someone, you can do video chat, but you can't touch someone, you can't hug someone. So with this,
Oh, sure you can. No. I've seen people do it all the time. You put a little asterisk, you say hug, and then you put another asterisk, and then they know you've sent them a hug.
it's so important for human communication to touch and hug each other.
So Justin Timberlake brought sexy back. You're bringing hugs back.
That's right.
How does this replicate a real hug?
And if you just give a hug,
My expert hug?
yes. We did a study of expert huggers such as yourself, and where you put your hands is where we put our special hugging actuation system on the body.
Hugging actuation system.
So this system here will replicate the feeling of where you
So
are.
it's going to apply some pressure where my hands would be.
Exactly. It gives a kind of feeling of the human hand caress on your body, on the body.
Let's see it work. With Nancy far, far away in another location, Adrian takes out a controller and transmits his virtual hug via the internet.
And then you can see that this hugging pajama is connected to the internet, produces the hug in the same spot. We can both wear such jackets, and then interactively we can have a hugging and caressing together through the internet. So that was the early prototype, a lot of cables and wires and things in the lab, but actually one of my PhD students graduated and he made an actual product from this, and it's a jacket that parents can buy. The market is for autistic children, because autistic children, when they have panic attack, if they're tightly squeezed, can reduce their panic. So with this system here, the parent can be at work and they monitor the child's health, and if they look like having a panic attack, they can press the button on the app and gives the children a remote squeeze through the internet. But I believe that still it's a little bit too early for most of the population to wear hugging vests, maybe in the future. So we want to make something very small, and what we made is a tiny ring-sized version of this hugging system. And the basic idea is that you can be anywhere in the world, and you can be thinking of your friend, and you can squeeze your ring and send the squeeze through the internet. So I'll just look at here the structure of the ring. It's basically got a force sensor with a LED and a vibration motor, and that's the technical part. And so the ring, I'm going to show a demo of this. So I'm going to call for a volunteer from the audience. They're coming on stage now. So the ring is this size here, and we're going to do a real demonstration of internet hugging with our kind volunteer here. Just thank her. Okay, you are the blue ring. Okay, and we've got to pretend we're in different parts of the world. Okay, and I'm missing you, so I squeeze my ring, and do you feel the vibration on your finger? Oh, yeah. Okay. This is what we should. Okay. What about now? Okay, I'll use the app. There you go. Can you feel it? Okay, where's my ring? Sorry. Okay, I'm pressing my ring, and you should be able to feel vibration. You can. Okay. So we can be anywhere in the world, and we can hug each other with our hugging rings. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. It's always dangerous to do live demos on stage. Okay, so you can see the internals of this ring. It's basically we try to make it as small as possible, and it connects to your social network. So, for example, you can instead of sending your friend a Facebook message, you can send them a hug to their ring through Facebook or Twitter. Now, one thing I want to say is that when you digitize the sensors, we don't just need to replicate what can happen in the physical world. So in the physical world, you can only really hug one person at a time, or shake one person's hand. But when you put this in the virtual world, you can do other kind of interactions. For example, one-to-many. Right? Why would you want to do that? Well, for example, maybe you've got A+ in your exam, and you want to hug all of your 1,000 Facebook friends at the same time, so you can do that. And many to one. Why would you want to do that? Well, maybe a famous pop star, maybe millions of people want to hug him or her, but of course they can't. So instead, maybe you pay $1 and you can hug Madonna or something like that. Now, kissing is another very important interaction, and we don't want to kiss by kissing our glass on the smartphone. So we've actually designing a kiss messenger called Kissinger after Henry, and it's a way that people can kiss through the internet. So imagine that daughter is in college, maybe in America, she's far away from mother, but even with this system they can kiss each other through the internet. I'll show a quick video of this system here. So this, you can see the picture of the kissing robot. So here's two people and they're Skyping each other on the internet, but then they want to kiss each other. So they can pick up their kissing robot and it measures the pressure sensor of the person's lip and it transmits this in real time through the internet. So it simulates a real world kiss. By the way, those two students were married, so everything's legal. So we're making a new version which will connect to your smartphone, so you can plug it into your iPhone and you can do a video call, you can see your friend and then you can kiss them at the same time. This is a new version that we're working on now with my students. So next I want to talk about taste and smell, and these are two senses that we very rarely think about when we're thinking about computers and the internet. But smell and taste are very important senses. In fact, they're the only two senses which connect to the limbic system of the brain. And the limbic system of the brain is the part of your brain responsible for emotion and memory. So it is actually really true that a smell can subconsciously trigger a memory or subconsciously trigger an emotion. You might have experienced that you smell something and you remember grandma's food when you were a child. But it's very difficult to smell and taste through computers, and the reason for this is that unlike sound and light, which are frequency-based, and frequency can easily be changed into a number, for example 1,000 hertz, and that easily can be digitized. But the way we taste and smell is through molecules, and we have molecule receptors. It's very difficult to digitize this. So we've been working on systems that you can send smells through the internet, and you can see some of our prototypes here. We have some little bit clunky version. It's getting smaller and smaller, and we have a new version which is here. You can see it's called the Senti, and I'm going to just show you a quick video of this now. Oops. Here we go. Sorry, this clicker is...
Food is inseparable from the history of mankind. And now, 2013, introducing a whole new approach to food, tasting and savoring food with your nose. How to 1. Choose. 2. Insert. 3. Smell. 4. Eat. And that's all there is to it. So, are we ready to savor this? Let's say you're a student with no money. All you need is some and your stomach will feel satisfied. Let's say you're a woman on a diet. Obviously, calories are not an issue when you're dining at Ana Yakiniku.
Okay. So, thank you. I have my second test subject, a brave volunteer, and so we have the Senti with the Senti app, and he's going to pretend that I'm in New York, he's in Kuala Lumpur, and I'm going to send him a smell message. So you basically just press that grey button. The grey button. The little button. Can you see the scent coming out? You can press it again. And what scent do you think it is? Farts? No, it's not. Oh. Next one. It was flower. Blood rose. Okay, what's this one? So what is it? Oh, good. Almond. That was almond. Thank you very much. Very brave. Thank you. So we've been working with a very famous chef in Spain, Chef Andoni Luis Aduriz, and his restaurant Mugaritz is one of the top restaurants in the world. He's also one of the top 5 restaurants worldwide. And he wanted to do a project with us, and we made an app where you can virtually cook the food on your smartphone. You use gestures, and then the smell of his dish will come from the phone. And so you can experience his dish through the internet, even if you can't go to Spain. And we launched this last year in Madrid Fusion, a gastronomy festival. But to end, I want to say that there's still disadvantage with this system. As I mentioned, chemicals can't be transmitted through the internet, so we both have to have these attached to our smartphone. So what we've been working on now is how can we actuate taste and smell using only electricity? So because if it's electricity, you can transmit through Ethernet cable, radio waves, and internet. So we made a device which connects to your tongue and it stimulates the taste without any chemicals. So I'm going to call for the next volunteer to use the electric taste machine which we've developed. This is a device that can stimulate the lemony or sour taste. And so he's very brave. Let's give him a round of applause. Okay, so now can you please sit down and put your tongue in between these silver electrodes? You can hold it. All right. It's off now. Just you gotta stick your tongue in it. No, in between. Yes. All right. A little bit further inside. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna turn it on now, and you should have a sour, lemony taste. Can you feel it? A little bit. You feel a little bit sour. Okay. And now I'll give you a little bit stronger current, higher current. And a bit sour, yeah. Can you feel it? Good. Okay. Oh, he's very brave. What's your name? Ziwei, give him a round of applause. So the next step of this project is to stimulate smell, because our tongue can only stimulate sour, salty, sweet, bitter. So we're building a version which will electrically stimulate the olfactory bulb to produce smell. For example, the strawberry or chocolate. All these kind of things which we say taste of chocolate actually smell, because that's being smelled when we eat the food. So this was a work in progress, and we hope to have it coming out soon. So lastly, I just want to say that this kind of interaction, similarly to the touch, initially we may want to just copy the real world. For example, as I said, send a smell of chocolate to your friend. But actually I think the real potential of this is new types of content creation, new types of composition. Just like when music became digital, we can have electronic music, completely new types of composition. So for example, children, they can't really cook food now because there's knives and fire and it's a bit dangerous. So with this system here, kids can program food on a computer and then send it to their grandmother through the internet. And as I mentioned, famous chefs, they can, you can not only watch them on TV, but through your TV you can taste and smell the dish that you're watching on television. And also, this cooking is a very important way of communication. Before, the generations used to live together, maybe 2 or 3 generations in the same house, and cooking, eating together was important communication. But now, families are living in different cities and apart. But with this system here, grandfather could cook with grandkid, no matter where in the world they are. So what I'm going to say is that in the future we will use all of our 5 senses through the internet, and it will allow us to be more connected using all the multi-sensory communication. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Adrian Chiu. Wow, that's the future, huh? I would definitely buy that little gadget that helps you smell the food, but you don't really eat it. As will a lot of ladies too, and students on a budget. So there you go, if you're studying overseas and you miss Mum's cooking, you can have it too. All right, our final speaker for this evening is a scientist.